Hello, hello, hello. Coming from Walmart, place where I spend about 40 hours a week at. Now, I am not looking at the games right now, but I had been playing League of Legends lately because it had reached a point in my life where I was not feeling that great. You know, I knew it was coming. I was riding a high of defeating depression from last December. And, that's why I've been putting I've just been so happy, so ecstatic lately, and putting it all forth. And it can be seen in January. And in the midst of February, I felt it coming back I knew that high could only take me so far before I fell again, as there's no escaping this endless cycle of up and down within our lives. It is a constant. And there are certain things that I've been trying to review and analyze about myself in hopes that I could not let depression get me down again, or any type of negative comprehension about my conscious endeavors. It has been a journey, and I want to keep going upwards with it. But it's seemingly impossible when just a flicker of the shadow creeps in and reminds me of how much hatred I have, how much anger, how much disappointment and resentment I have for this life. And I couldn't let it go. It began consuming me. And so I've been looking deeper into myself while playing League of Legends to isolate the thoughts, mainly keeping them at bay. Isolation, like I haven't wanted to think about all of those pesky thoughts. But I have to. I can't run away from them, but the game certainly helps me get away from that stress and anxiousness, which reminds me that I need to go back to a comment thread that I had posted in a few weeks ago about League of Legends crippling me within depression, because it's like a catalyst for those that are sad, angry, or want to kill time. Boredom. Those three things: the empty, the sad, and the angry. That's why the community in it is not the best at all. It's toxic. I am part of the toxicity. That is true. It is a place for me to outlet my negativity within, because it feels like I'm faceless. I'm sure that's how other people feel too. Like the internet creates this entity for you to express yourself freely. And a lot of times we say the worst things that are unimaginable in our personal lives, face to face. Like hardly any of these people would be saying the same things if they were face to face with somebody. And I myself included, I find myself definitely giving forth my best self rather than all of me, because I don't want to scare people away. There's a lot to me that is a struggle, that the whole concept that I'm even entertaining around is within a philosophical and psychological entry done by Carl Jung that I've been studying lately because it had rang so true within my ears when I had heard it from a man called Jordan Peterson. You know, even my father had talked about Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, and he tried to entertain some psychological concepts, but he used them mainly to manipulate others in ways that benefited him. Now, the use of psychology that I'm interested in is to better illustrate the complex struggles that we face in the day-to-day. But I've had to take a recess from life in general. It feels like I've been on autopilot, not enjoying it, not happy at all. And within those darker moments, you know, they are still a part of who I am. But it's only because I know them, that they exist, that I confront them, can I ever choose the brighter side of things. And the concept that was being called is the shadow of self, by Carl Jung, who is an amazing individual who can inspire generations, because there are many people that I've talked to that resource him as one of the founding men in psychology of the 20th century. And it's because the shadow, from what his perspective, he was writing it mainly for himself, but because of the World War II, how dense it was and evil of the most inhumane things that we humanly could achieve, of separation, alienation, and a lot of it stems from this internal aspect in our human nature that wants to find an scapegoat for some of the suffering that we deal and internalize. We have this need to push it elsewhere and avoid it, such as what I've been doing with this game, League of Legends, and which is why it's just been ringing so true in my ears, because I've dealt with this for the last 10 years, because it starts when you first start analyzing yourself, understanding what makes you angry, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what are some of the triggers that you have. And that's kind of what I've learned to turn them, because they truly trigger me and make me want to snap. Like, I've been living and accepting that darkness for the last 10 years, and I've been afraid of it, afraid of what it makes me. But I can only move forward, hopefully, by accepting that that is just a part of me. And it touches along a main construct of psychosis that I dealt with that is labeled split personality disorder, where I had a name for this person as well. Carl, it was. Which is a whole other story, and I might as well explain it. But Carl came from this group that I had been a part of called Tadl Batl, and it was just a name, truly. It was just this, like, because I didn't want to put my real name. You know, I was at this new place. Tadl stood for Traverse Area District Library. Battle was just this nice sounding synonym to go with it. I probably used that word wrong, synonym. but it is fun to say. So that is where Carl was created as a name. And later in life, the name was created around 11, 12 when I was in Tadl Batl. And the concept for the split personality stemmed around 15 when I became in love with somebody who was mentally ill, and I adopted some of her characteristics to better understand how she was doing. Because me personally, I'm an empath. I'm very empathetic. And I just naturally attach myself to other people mentally, like I am them sometimes in a way, to truly understand, because it makes me feel whole to understand feeling and what's going on. That's what I'm really coming to. It's about that age where you truly want to define yourself the rest of your life within like a career. Like mine would personally be within psychology. The fascination of the mind and how much it's helped me deal with all of those struggles has been immense. Truly. I wouldn't want to be anybody else than who I am, and I wouldn't be who I am without it. It's a key factor for my ability to convey and construct any particular type of idea or ideal and manifest it in a means to achieve something greater, like a combination of conduits orchestrating together to illustrate a fascination of some pinnacle to conquer. It just deepens everything so much that I can't help but fall into in another way of saying it. So split personality disorder, I mean, it's nothing to do with the game per se, unless you think everything's everly connected, which it is. So I mean, disagreeing with myself is part of it, literally part of it. All the different perspectives within it. That's truly where it started from. So many different perspectives, orchestrating feelings and constructs to build myself off of and maintain some type of way of living, Anyway, but the name was Carl for it, and that was for the deeper, darker, evil, mean human that I could be. And a lot of it stems from watching my father act truly a beast of sorts in a drunken way. Because he was quite a man, quite a good man when he was sober, but a devil when he was drinking. And that goes for so many. Thankfully, not myself. I just get tired when I start drinking. It ain't worth the money if I'm just gonna fall asleep. So there I was, explaining a story of immense importance to the individuality of my character at work, of all places. Because, like I said, I work here 40 hours a week, and I'm trying to figure out ways to do more. When I took a break last week, lost some subscribers, and that's the way of life. You don't consistently contend to things, and they may just slip from you. But at the age of 15, when I was madly in love with that woman, affecting me greatly, it's where that name manifested back again in my life to better identify, because I didn't want to be that person, truly, that dark person who had these malicious thoughts of torture and inciting pain upon others. It made me afraid. I didn't like that, but it was just there. That was a part of me. So much anger and resentment towards being hostilized towards and made the victim of somebody else's story, which leads back to the shadow in itself, blaming others for our insecurities. Is everything is ever connecting, and that's why I'm Commander Rambler at your service, part of Galactic Dynasty Enterprises. Oh, everything and nothing at once. It has been a concept that I've been battling for 10 years. As I was saying, a lot of my mental illnesses started when I was 15, in a degree of what people would label them as. I have not been fortunate enough to have the funds in life to attend to any particular practices of medical treatment, so I have not been properly diagnosed, nor do I want to, because that is the weird game of it all to me, figuring it out myself. And it's been a 10-year journey since then, and here I am now speaking to all of you and myself out loud in just a cold, dark room on lunch break. And I wanted to attend to the people that I'm already losing and the people that I haven't even gotten a chance to meet yet, as just a moment in space and time of isolating these things here for everybody to one day read, hear, my daughter especially, as she is my light and joy, making things make sense, makes things easier to face, that darkness, reason to survive and conquer it all. For the most part, I'm doing alright. I hope everybody else is doing okay. But I want you to invest your time in understanding yourself better, as it is one of the most crucial things in our life, because we can be our best friend, but oftenly do we choose to be our own worst enemy. And there's this duality of struggle continuously there that we have to be strong enough to face, otherwise we'll take the plunge and leave this world. And who's to say that's not worse on the other side? Nobody knows. Nobody truly knows. We can estimate, we can guess. I mean, I have seen some ghosts, so it's a whole other story I'll share someday. But truly some fascinating things I've seen that just don't make any sense. Part of the whole world of the unknown. And that's why I keep trying to learn more. Keep trying to digest things that I can barely get my hands on, to orchestrate a more powerful message to myself that I can live through as a mantra, and that I can recreate in a vibrancy of words here to share through you. But I'll have to add some more content, because I wanted to, for gaming, I kind of like the rambles and gaming. See, I have a lot of speech impediments, thanks to my father, and that's why I like writing and why I write so much, because I don't like those imperfections, but they are there and I have to accept them. So much of what the shadow is acceptance of the unknown before the subconscious of your mind dreams you away into a non-existent life. And I am sorry for the terrible sound of Walmart in the background. But I figured it was the only time this is what's been on my mind. And I needed to get it out as well. I feel a lot better. There's so much that I barely touched on, scratched the surface of my life. But the key to it all is finding some fucking way to enjoy who you've become if you like yourself. And if you don't like yourself, it's easier. It's so much easier if you don't like yourself to figure that out. Because it's normally things you don't like in other people. And you just ask yourself that question, well, what don't I like about people? And it'll come up. Like ignorance, or repetition, or lying, or being too honest even. Like there's so many different attributes that affect people's triggers. Mine in particular is dishonesty, and being the psychologist that I am, as well as a non-diagnosed paperless boy of claim, here I am telling you that you are your greatest friend. You are the only person that is truly going to be able to help you out in the deepest of ditches within your mind. Stop fighting yourself. Stop making it harder. And just accept how terrible you are as a person. I am no great man at all. I am the devil himself, in some say. In some ways, that enjoyment from hurting others, it's not something I want to bring into the world. Sure, it's within thoughts, and that's what it is, fantasies of torture, of pain and suffering, from the suffering and torture that I've gone through, cast it upon others. And it means to make a message clearly shown through the body of torment. There are just some things that you need to experience to truly understand how much life has meaning. In every crevice and crack, in every little drip and tap of the water spilling from the fountain giving us life, we shall grow. We shall make meaning from the ever bottomless pit of meaningless sakes. That's all it takes to put ourselves forward, to put ourselves forward on a momentum to carry that darkness and light that we all hold together in unity of a whole person. We will create something truly unique once we accept all of what we are. And stop hiding. Stop hiding! Let it out. It's not who I want to be. All that darkness inside me, but it's there. I want to be the light, and it's only because of how brutally dark it is inside me can I truly see how brilliant and magnificent the light can be and is. And that's what I want to dedicate my life towards, is finding some incremental way to bring a light into somebody else's life. And one day I'll share as to why it pains me that I didn't do it sooner. But I probably gotta find some more lead content to post over this. I only had so many good games. But anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Keep fighting your battles and never give up, okay? Things can get better, and they will if you try.
has destroyed an inhibitor. Your team has destroyed a turret. Double kill. Haste.